Good evening, everybody. Welcome to League of Extraordinary Inventors. I'm your host, Mike from Faraday Research. Welcome to the show. It is Friday, November 1st, 2024. Welcome to the show. It is Free Energy Fridays. As usual, we have our panel of Philip, Nathan, Lulu, and Mr. Benefactor. Welcome to the show, everybody. Live chat is open. Just show notes, everybody. Starting next week, I have to go on the afternoon shift, unfortunately. So I won't be doing live shows for the next 2 weeks as it stands right now. I'm going to be doing a live show this Sunday at, believe it's about 1 o'clock Eastern or 10 o'clock, is it? Your time, Nathan?
It's 6 right now.
No, like on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Sunday, 10 a.m. But it'll be 1 o'clock for you.
1 o'clock Eastern.
And 11, 12, 1. Yeah, 3-hour difference.
Right. Okay. So 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock your Pacific, right?
Yeah. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah. I'll be doing my full disclosure of the Renegade device and the history behind the infamous pulse motor and where it all started and how I got onto the technology and what I've learned over the past 20 years experimenting with the device. And I'll give my full disclosure and I'll show some pictures and stuff like that and get into a little bit more depth on the theory on how it works, why it works, where it could lead to, and technology that you could build in your own house. Just have to pick up a few things from Canadian Tire or UAP or Princess Auto and Home Depot, and you can make one of these incredible devices for yourself and start experimenting. And maybe the odd thing you might have to order on Amazon, but other than that, they're pretty easy to make. And I'll get more into the science on how that works. So I guess, all right. So yeah, it's been a busy week. I feel like I just completed a 4-year course of material science, working on these cells. I was telling Nathan and the guys before the show on some of the new things I'm going to be trying out with the cell, which is intriguing. Yet hopefully it's going to really improve the life of the cell. So if everything goes good, if the science is correct, that the cell should last 10 to 20 years. So that is mind-blowing, to say the least, if I could actually pull that off. So, but it would explain why the little power cell that I did make has a lot of the attributes and stuff in it that I needed where I want to go. And It's been running since August. I got it hooked up now to a load, and it's still producing power. So it's starting to show me positive results of what I've done up to this point, which is really cool. So yeah, so the progress is going. Maybe sometime down the road I'll be able to start disclosing some more details on what's going on the inside of it. So
Hmm.
for now, it's like I don't want to say too much without actually having something working and tangible and say, okay, this is it. It works. It is what it is, and yeah, and go further with it and eventually get it out. A slow disclosure and get it out into the marketplace strategically and safely, right? So I don't get attacked by certain entities.
Uh,
Yeah.
I have faith that you'll
So,
be able to pull it off, Mike.
Yeah.
well, we're off to an extremely good start. Uh, we've made huge amount of grounds in a short period of time on it, and we're right up there with some of the top engineering firms worldwide working on batteries. But ours is not a battery. It's a solid state power plant. Is what it is. So you always need battery storage. That's a given. And let those guys do their thing. They're doing a good job. That's fine. We're just kind of gone in off to the right in a different direction. So, but the two will go hand in hand ultimately in the end, battery storage and our power unit. So yeah, that'd be sustainable power for, we're hoping, a decade. If we could get a decade out of it, that's got to tell you something. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's so
yeah,
cool.
Very,
so
very.
that's where I'm at right now. So enough about me. Let's get into my cast here. I guess I'll start with Phil because Phil usually starts. So we'll let him take the stage and let us know what's happening.
Yeah, the alcohol is not kicking in at the start of your show, so that's why I prefer to talk first. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you have to. What do you have to drink? Actually, I got a full liquor cabinet. And I have barely touch. It sits there in front of on top of the stove, and it looks at me, but I never touch it. I don't know. I'm not much of a drinker anymore, so
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither, but sometimes it is what it is, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, I had a very busy week as well for my employer, but I'm happy for him. He's probably gonna drive a Lamborghini pretty soon. So he's doing like motion recognition for incarceration centers, and we can tell what the inmates is doing in his cell and stuff like that. So it's gonna prevent things like Jeffrey Epstein from apparently. I know he didn't kill himself, but to have evidence of what happened in a cell and things like that.
Yeah, that's really cool technology.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Knowledge. That is just scary to think about it. Like I understand in prison cells, but if it gets out into the real world, wouldn't that be kind of invasion of privacy in a way? Right?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what, but yeah, he got other technologies like he can measure the oxygen level in the brain in real time, so that's gonna help divers and military people to measure their oxygen level while they fly a fighter jet and stuff like that.
that'd be cool.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
yeah, it's really awesome. And turns out it's more fun to work for a little startup company than a big giant corporation, because in a big giant corporation you're just an ant amongst 1,000 ants.
Yeah.
Whereas if you work for a startup, you can. It's more risky, but you have much greater return of investment if it works. So yeah, that's where I'm at for my employment. For my research, it's pretty awesome too because it's very clear in my head all the astrophysics, the whole astrophysics thing. I still need to pinpoint the quantum level, but the nuclear all the way to the cosmology is very clear in my head, and it requires very simple mathematics like freshman maths and physics is required only. So I'm going to present that to the U.S. Navy in December, and it's pretty awesome because I figured what's inside how a black hole behaves, and I already figured that a while ago, but now it's my understanding is very robust. I can explain the gravitational red shifting without loss of energy because as you know, if you use general relativity to explain the gravitational red shifting, it's not respecting the laws of conservation of energy because the photon is red shifting and or blue shifting depending if it goes up in altitude or lower. So and yeah, it just requires freshman mathematics knowledge to understand that. I'm not going to disclose everything, obviously. Like I said, I'm going to sell that to the U.S. Navy. But basically, a black hole. Einstein and Stephen Hawking, they were saying that you get spaghettified if you cross the event horizon of a black hole. Not only that's not true, the reality is you're gonna slow down in time, so you're not gonna cross the event horizon. But even if you cross it, you're not gonna get spaghettified. You're gonna get repelled by the black hole. So once you reach a certain radius, you're gonna get attracted first. You're gonna slow down, and if you somehow appear in the event horizon, you're gonna get repelled by the black hole. So matter within the event horizon is being repelled. So it's not creating a singularity or a wormhole and that links to a white hole and all that nonsense. It's very simple, and I've got like I did the maths and they're very simple, and I can convince any PhD that I'm right. So far, all the PhD are in APEC or whatever, they don't want to debate with me because I know they're wrong. They know they're wrong, or they're not gonna survive very long. But
Well, you have the sims to
um,
back it up, and that's why I get excited about your work because you actually have simulations that you can show us. And like I'm hoping you have some more that you can show us tonight. But yeah, no, I get really excited when you show us the simulations because it's something we could see.
yeah, and the simulator, it's kind of chicken and egg, with the theory and the simulation. The simulator kind of helped me to figure it out, but it's but yeah, I'm really happy. It's pretty awesome, I think. And
Yeah,
the
that's
red
cool.
shifting, think about it. I'm going to explain the gravitational red shifting because it's so easy to understand. Part of it is explained in my paper, but so if you take time dilation, the gravitational time dilation, the equation is G, the Newton's gravitational constant times the mass of the Earth divided by the radius, the distance from the Earth you are. So that's it. That's the great. And with that, you can the gravitational time dilation is proportional to that. It's not r square. It's just r to the first degree. So it's gm divided by r. So that's the gravitational time dilation. So the gravitational time dilation is proportional to the speed. So if you go up in altitude, the photon is gonna gain energy, so it's gonna blue shift. Yeah, it's gonna gain energy, so it's gonna blue shift, and it's gonna gain speed, but it's gonna blue shift because the energy is proportional to the kinetic energy equation, the mass times the speed square. So the for the energy, the energy is proportional to the speed square. So the speed is proportional to time dilation, but the energy is proportional to the speed square. So there's one degree difference. So that's why if you go up in altitude on the International Space Station, the photon is going to blue shift because relative to the astronaut observing it, because the degrees the the degrees are not the same. The energy is squared, and the time dilation is not square. It's just to the first degree. So there's an offset of 1 degree here. So that's why we see a blue shift and a red shift. So you require only like freshman mathematics to understand that. And I'm not gonna explain the black hole because I want to sell that knowledge to down the
So,
down the road.
so would it be fair to say that the black hole is the singularity?
No, that's exactly not the singularity. It gains not only it's not a singularity, but it gains in mass. If two black holes collide, it's going to be one big black hole, one big black hole that gain in mass in volume. So it's not creating a singularity, and that was already observed by Stephen Hawking's prediction that black holes gain in mass, and there's no singularity where the matter is going in a wormhole linked to the white hole somewhere in the universe, and with coordinates we that popped out of nowhere. They don't they can't. I ask everybody what defines the coordinates of a white hole, and no PhD can explain it to me. No,
Yeah, white holes and black holes and a-holes.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
let's not start.
So just to let you know that it's all nonsense, and now you understand why PhDs in the Epic chat or what the YouTube chat they don't want to debate with me because they know they're wrong, and they're kind of walking on eggs every time I'm there. So
Yeah,
um,
it's way beyond my comprehension. I'll stick to the power cells and the pulse motors.
yeah, but I'm into metamaterials like you are also, because that's why I wrote a simulator, because I want to be able to predict the behaviors of metamaterials down the road, and nonlinear crystals as well, because it
Mhm.
splits photon in two and can combine photon. So that's exactly
Yeah.
what I want for energy teleportation. I want
Oh,
to.
okay. I have a question for you. With piezoelectrics, like Salvador Payas talks about, do you think there's any merit to that at all?
I don't know. I didn't follow Salvatore Pius on that. I can't tell.
Mhm.
Phil, I have a question. Like, isn't the redshift connected with the expansion? Like, when expansion occurs, like further planets redshift because of the distance?
Yeah, there's multiple redshift. There's the gravitational redshift. I just talked to about the gravitational redshift, But what you're talking about is the cosmological redshift.
Okay.
So galaxies are distancing faster and faster away from us, and it creates a redshift between galaxies. But that's not because of the inflation and all that nonsense. That's just because of the time contraction. The faster the galaxy, it's like if you are with your friends with sea-doos on the ocean or in a lake, and you are three line up, three of you. You have all your sea-doos, and your first friend ahead of you is going at 100 kilometers an hour. You are in the middle, and you're driving your sea-doo as 50 kilometers an hour, and your friend behind you is driving his sea-doo at 25 kilometers an hour. So you're gonna see you're in the middle. So you're gonna see the guy ahead of you distancing himself from you. The same thing with the guy behind you, because you're going twice as fast as the guy behind you. You know. So it's the same thing with galaxies. Galaxies, they're going in a certain direction. The galaxy ahead of you is going twice as fast as you. Uh, you don't notice anything in your own galaxy, and the galaxy behind you is going twice as slow as you are. So that's why you see the galaxies distancing from themselves. It's because the speed is relative. The galaxies ahead of us are going twice as fast, and the galaxies behind us are going twice as slow because of the gravitational time dilation we're in. Because I'm saying that the visible universe is traveling within a greater gravitational potential, and it creates some time contraction thing, and that's it's very simple. It's not very complicated, but um,
So are you saying that the closer to the center of the galaxy is slower or faster?
well, it's not the galaxy itself, but if you compare galaxies like Andromeda and Milky Way and these galaxies, you see that the galaxies are distancing themselves at the same acceleration. So that's because if we look ahead of us, the galaxy ahead of us is accelerating, speeding up twice as fast, and the galaxy behind us is slowing down, is 2 times slower than we are. So that's why we see the galaxies traveling away from us at the same speed, but it's all relative. It's all
Right. I guess what I'm asking is, I'm looking at the solar system. So if we're on the outside here, here's the center, the one behind us, and then the one in front of us. Does it go that way, or is the one in front of us on the outside? Which side of us is it on? The inside or the outside to the center of the galaxy?
yeah, it's consider the galaxy as a planet. So you have 3 planets. So
Right.
the planet ahead of us is traveling very fast. We're kind of a normal speed, and the planet behind us is twice as slow.
Okay, but the one that's faster than us, is that closer to the center of the galaxy?
No, it's distancing from our galaxy, so it's getting farther and farther away from us.
Nathan, I think Phil is trying to say the galaxy is treating it as a one entity, like
Yeah.
one.
No, I'm well aware of that. I'm just trying to figure out the direction of flow here. So if it's slower inwards, it means as closer we get to the center of the galaxy, we'll keep jumping different ones until we get to there, and then it'll either be slower or faster at the center. You know what I mean? Relative to where you were in the beginning, not where you are at that point, because at that point you wouldn't know the difference. But relative to where you were? Was it getting slower, 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 slower? Till you
Yeah.
get to the center. That's what I was asking.
Yeah. At the center of the galaxy, you're gonna get slower, and that's exactly you just explained the the galactic rotation curve because
Okay.
they can't explain it, and but you just understood it very easily. So the closer you get to the center of the galaxy, the slower you're gonna get. That's why the stars are very slow at the center of our galaxy, and they get faster the farther away you are. It's That's why it doesn't fit with Newton. And yeah, you just explained it by yourself. So see,
This stuff is like totally mind-boggling.
yeah,
I thought the other way around. Like they were faster in the center, and as
no. If you use Newton, yes, but if you add time dilation, they're gonna get slower at the center because the time
So,
dilation factor is more intense.
so for some of the experiments that you were doing on time dilation, what actually makes time dilation? Is it a sudden burst of electrical energy, or what?
It's
Can
the
you
energy density, the either gravitational energy density or electric energy density. So
okay,
the
so say it was electrical. Does it have to be a large electrical density, or is it a negative energy collapse?
um, no,
Or am I completely off?
if you take a charge, it's the same thing with if you take a charge, it emits a electric field,
Right.
and if you get the closer you are from the charge, the more dense the energy density will be, and the slower you're gonna go because the energy is denser the closer you get to the electron, you know, to the charge. So it's the same thing. The planets and the electrons are the same thing, and uh, and it creates time dilation. So that's exactly what the force field is about, because the electric energy density is going to create time dilation. Time dilation is some sort of shock wave or force field, and that's what I'm gonna sell to the U.S. Navy in December.
Hmm. That's cool.
So what? So based on this understanding that you have, what direction do you want to go with it?
Well, yeah, just commercial sell it directly to the U.S. military and get out of there with some money or something.
Hmm.
Because I can't convince, because I'm tired of PhDs. They don't want to admit they're wrong and all that, so I'm wasting my time. So I'm just gonna go
Yeah,
directly over there, talk to the right people, and
it's
if there's a
sacrilegious for them.
yeah,
That's the problem with academia. Is there's this what you're talking about is so sacrilegious to their narrative that
yeah,
they don't want to accept that they're wrong for starters, and number two, okay, there's a new perspective or something that we have overlooked
yeah,
or didn't bother to explore, and I think
exactly.
that's
So the third, they don't want to admit it's so simple too,
Yeah.
because I'm making their PhD pretty much useless. So of course they don't want to
and
admit it.
yeah, the same thing with my power cell. We were getting so complicated and so kind of far ahead of ourselves that we took a step back, looked at what I had already constructed, and it was so much easier to construct and put in the elements needed to do what we wanted it to do. We were getting better results with a less complicated system or a less complicated theory, and
Exactly,
we were getting further.
exactly. So yeah, man. It's sometimes you wake up in the morning and that's what I like to do. You go to bed with a some sort of solution, and you have the options in your head, and then when you sleep, the brain sorts out all the that knowledge, and you wake up in the morning with the solution. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's not much different than the Earth. You got the Van Allen belt, and it has the rings, and they go in and in and in, and you get a time dilation from the outside in space to the surface of the planet. And we're not talking much. What is it? Like a minute every so many years or something like that, or every so many months. So it's not much, but if you go closer to the core of the planet, then the time dilation is going to be a lot greater. So
Exactly.
you can see exactly what it is. You just have to be able to tell the type of energy in which field you're in, because it's not going to be magnetic. It may be more charged state than it is magnetic.
Yeah. So it's either gravito-electric, gravito-magnetic, magnetic, or electric, or you can have a combinations of them, like light, like electromagnetic creates also time dilation because it's a form of energy density.
Well, I would imagine it's piezoelectric because of the way, well, for the Earth anyway, because of the way it's formed with the crystalline is formed in such a way with the oxygen in it. And the energy that comes out of it's different than the energy that would come out of a magnet, for sure. So, but it's I don't know, it's just a better type of energy for what you're looking at, and it's more abundant throughout the universe.
Yeah. And the other technology I'm going to talk about over there are energy teleportation. And like I was saying to Mike before the show, I'm creating the simulator ultimately because I want to replicate metamaterials and non-linear crystals that are able to split photons and combine photons of different frequency and different density. So I want to be able to predict, to create new metamaterials and things like that using a simulator. So that's why I started this project. But I want to make sure I get the right maths first. I just need, I think, for the quantum simulation, I just need to add I just need to quantize my simulator so that the electrons are rounded to different orbits around the proton. Distinct orbits. It's not like a planet because at that level the energy is kind of quantized, and electrons they don't go at any altitude around the proton. They just go at kind of a integer level energy level. So it's kind of that I just need to fix that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll hopefully I'll be done with the simulator after your vacations, Mike, and I'll show that to you.
Yeah, great.
That'd be cool.
So when you go in December and they like it, wouldn't they want those scientists to be head of that experiment for them? Or
Yeah, but that's why I'm gonna talk, and you're gonna make sure to talk to a PhD, but to a decision maker in the U.S. Navy as well at the same time, because if the PhD puts his personal preferences ahead, then he's never gonna want to admit that it's so simple. So I want to have some U.S. Navy decision maker at the same time, so he forces the PhD of doing what I tell him to do.
yeah, but you should pitch yourself as one of the people that would like to be on this project, whether they buy it from you, if they decide to buy it from you, but you still want to be head of that project.
Yeah, but I mean, as soon as I break the ice and I tell them the equations and everything they need to know, they will be. It's gonna take me 15 minutes. It's not gonna take me a lot of time. In 15 minutes, they will all agree with me, and at that point, all the workforce and the brain power in the U.S. Navy, they'll work on force field and energy teleportation very fast, much faster than me. You know what I mean? So that's why I just want to sell my knowledge and go back home happy. That's all I care.
Right on.
Yeah. Sure.
Um, so yeah, it's because if I try to make it public or wait for PhDs to agree with me, it's never gonna happen. I did try on APEC. I did chat. I did debate everybody on APEC. Nobody wants to argue with me in the chat or the YouTube forum, and I'm tired of that because I'm trying to make things move forward, and they put their personal.
Is it like they're like trying to avoid you or just don't want to engage you?
They don't want to admit that, so they just put a blind eye to what I say, and then the chat, they just. I'm not gonna name names, but they as soon as I put a very simple to understand evidence, very simple to understand, I don't see them in the chat or they don't check the chat. I haven't seen them for the last 2 years. So
Yeah.
what am I gonna do? Wait 10 years and hope they come back? Come
Yeah,
on, man.
they don't pull up the chat over there. Not at
Mm,
all.
Yeah, they don't. They
yeah.
don't. They used to, but not anymore because um, I pretty much killed everybody over there.
Uh, Comments they said to you, I think it was on one of the live ones. Um, they said that, oh, you were stuck in a rut, then you should maybe change your idea or something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was the day I presented my
Yeah.
equations for the atomic forces. That's exactly that. I barely have time to present it, and they didn't ask any question. Somebody said if you can't explain it well to a 5-year-old guy, you don't understand it. Then they barely have time to explain anything, and they just shut me off and sidelined me. So I'm just tired of that. Gonna make money. I am tired of PhDs. I'm grateful for everybody I met there. I'm very grateful to Tim. He's doing an awesome job, but I can't deal with PhDs anymore. I'm tired of these people.
Yeah. The closed mindedness of PhDs is like you're not going to get anywhere. If
Yeah,
you
it's never gonna move
if
forward.
yeah, if they're only going to have one view and one view only, it obviously shows their lack of being open to a new idea, new concept, or a direction that they kind of overlooked. Maybe they feel like, oh, maybe I did screw up, but I can't let them know that. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? They can't swallow their pride. You
Exactly.
know, all they're worried about is their pride and their reputation. It's like,
Exactly.
sometimes you have to swallow the pride,
Yeah,
but
My
but
a lot of them
if
don't.
if they lose their pride, they're not gonna be able to publish, and they'll lose their job basically. So
Yeah, they lose their funding.
yeah,
yeah,
that's what
their
they're
grants. Go
yeah,
ahead, Lulu. Sorry.
So
that's what they're scared of because they'll lose their positions, they'll lose their whatever research they're working on if they admit to new ideas, you know?
Exactly. So I'm
you know
tired
the
of that. It's not about it's not about getting things done. It's about politics again. So political stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously that's what's held us back, right? I'm surprised we've gone this far as our technology in the last 100 years, with all the bureaucracy and all the political correctness of academia and
Yeah.
this cult religion that they call university. It's could you imagine if we didn't have that bureaucracy and closed mindedness and stop fighting over whose reputation's going to get ruined? It's like we're all in here to come up with ideas and concepts and try to prove them in a laboratory to prove a concept if it's valid or not. That's all part of the
Exactly.
discovery.
If it works
And
or not.
I think what's happened is the science community has lost the ability to do science.
Yeah. But that was the original goal of APEC to be
Well,
whatever whoever has an idea, go ahead and make it work. And now it became political because there's too many
right,
PhDs around.
right, because they got
Exactly what
those
happened.
people. Yeah, you got those PhDs that were in big universities or colleges or laboratories around the world, and then you put them on a platform that kind of went against that narrative, but now it got tainted and now is indoctrinated the same narrative of a university. So,
Exactly. That's exactly
you know,
that.
it's just,
I
And
mean, my question, if our science is very sound, why haven't we been able to reach the moon again? You know?
yeah. And know what I heard? A live interview from a NASA engineer. We lost the technology.
How do you
What? What? How do you lose a technology? That is the most stupid ass answer I ever heard from a NASA engineer. We
it's not
lost
Well,
the
that guy
technology.
was obviously an idiot.
it's not a thing.
Wow.
Like, how do you lose it? It's not an object, that you just
Exactly. How do you lose it? And
Well,
another one, there was another NASA engineer. I never forget it. It was on YouTube, but they yanked it. The guy says, "Yeah, well, we've never been able to figure out how to get through the Van Allen belt."
we don't
So,
have Voyager 1 or 2 or the
y-
satellite that's around the moon. We don't have, pictures of every planet in the solar system.
like, if you can't get through the Van Allen belt, how can you get to the moon? If going through the Van Allen belt and you get bombarded by so many X-rays and whatever that can kill you instantly. So that begs the question: did we actually go to the moon? And the NASA engineer said this on film, on record, that we haven't been able to go because we haven't been able to figure out how to get through the Van Allen belt. And he admitted it right on film. And they yanked it off YouTube. You can't find it now.
it just
Well,
So,
we've
it's
been
ignorant with the way the fields work that you would even think that you needed to go through the Van Allen belt to get to where you need to go to.
right. And this is coming from a NASA engineer. So, you
That guy
know,
was a fool. That
so
one guy. He probably some guy that got an intern job, and that's what his job was. And he got fired the next day.
hmm,
I think they're more focused on publicity than the science, and they've been like this for the past
well,
minimum.
it's a tax grab. It's a tax grab. You know how many millions upon millions of dollars in taxpayers' dollars goes into NASA. And what have they accomplished since the space shuttle? What have they accomplished?
right now
Jack
it's
shit.
right now it's SpaceX taking over with
Right.
technology of NASA, but NASA itself hasn't done any groundbreaking stuff for a long
They've
time.
done zero.
I think the
Well,
last thing they did was the gravity probe B for to measure the lens steering effect, but there was so many noise that it was inconclusive. They spent like billions of dollars, and there was too many noise, and they did it incorrectly, so it was inconclusive. Their experiment.
I think they're now more like commercially driven, as an science institution than as like a research or research and development institution. They just all for them is just like, oh, this company is going to develop this part, and this company is going to develop this part, and that company, it's like, hey, what are you doing though?
well, they just started disclosing a lot more about Mars. So they show you the true picture of it. They start telling you that there's water on there now, and it only has to do because other companies are going out into the solar system. So they have to start disclosing some of this stuff because they already knew it, and they've been lying to us the whole time. Now they're starting to disclose it because they're about to be found out,
Mm.
and so it'll start trickling out over the next couple of years. You'll see We'll have a whole full picture of Mars
Yeah.
that looks totally different than what it did before.
So do you think
I didn't realize that's interesting.
do you think there's already people on Mars?
Oh yeah,
You know how that's
I've
going
already
to hurt
visited it.
NASA if it comes out that everything that they've told everybody in the last 50 years has been completely false. You know what that's gonna rip a hole through NASA like they've never imagined.
Yeah, you
You
would
know
say
what I mean?
that, but then they knew who killed JFK 40 years ago, and we don't care today. You get what I'm saying? They'll
Yeah,
just wait until the time elapses where the old fogies can't remember it.
And the new
yeah.
generation doesn't really care, you know?
Yeah, that's what they do. That's how they work, and they're
Well,
very
it's
good about it.
NASA, never a straight
Absolutely
answer.
right. Yep. Because the empire they built themselves, can sustain itself past, whatever memory of it happening.
Well, as soon as APEC decided to connect with NASA, everybody was required to have a PhD. Let's just put it that way. And the handler said no more. And there were no more good inventions coming on that show. It's the same people every week. And it's not going to change because that's who they are now. They are now part of the machine.
Yeah.
It was more fun. APEC was more fun, like, let's say 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I,
During the pandemic and everything.
yeah, lately it's been, like you said, the same people. They're great. I'm not saying that nothing's wrong with the presenters, but I don't see any more new ideas. You know how it's just been sitting there for the past
It's
couple years.
all rehashing old ideas and really not really getting anywhere. No traction.
Yeah, but they they're I don't know. I think they need to we were there since the beginning, and now we're being kind of sidelined in favor of PhDs. That's what pisses me off a little bit. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're having something like by invite only in the next few weeks if they like you go to attend their anniversary party or something like that.
Whatever.
I've been to one. I've been to their first one. I went to New Jersey. It's pretty interesting. Like, I wanted to see what I was gonna be spending my time. To what. They've got cool machines. They've got Tesla coils. They've got CNC machines. They've got Faraday cage. They've got I don't know, just everything. But it's always how am I going to explain it? It's not wasn't very inviting. Let's put it that way. It's meant for just particular people, and that's it. And
I've
When you
always
go there, don't ask too many questions. Don't try to figure out the answer. Just shake your head and yes, yes, I understand. Yes, tell me more. Yes, yes. Feed me the same line.
Oh.
No, it's the way it is. You go in there and you tell them anything about Tesla coil, and they go, "Yeah, it makes sparks. It makes a radiant field. We're done." And then, well, why'd you pack it in the truck and come here? Because you wasted my freaking time. Okay, because I know exactly what that thing does, and it does way more than that.
There was a presenter there. His name is Curtis Horn. He's working on something. I keep on asking this question, and they keep on ignoring it. I say, what if you put this device in water? Does it move? Yeah, you could see it. And maybe I've asked this question at least 3 times. No response. So it's either yes, and they don't want it to say yes, it does. And then, or no, it doesn't because the device doesn't work.
yeah, they're just sidelining you and your question.
I don't know, but I've asked it 3 different times and no response. They just
Yeah,
go on with the conversation as if I didn't say anything. So, I don't
yeah. It's like yeah. Anyway, I wish that there would be follow ups on my experiment because they all work. So why are they not trying to reproduce it? No,
Well, that's it.
I don't get it.
That's where this all these channels should collaborate. And if they're seeing a guy, like Philip is doing experiments and seeing results, you would think another channel and the guys that go on that channel would say, hey, maybe let's try to replicate what Philip's doing and see if we get a result. But you don't see that happening.
Well, hold on. Let's restate that. They are doing his research. They are putting everything together in the back room of their lab. They're not disclosing the fact that they took your stuff, and they're not giving you credit for it. But every single paper that they come out with and test they come out with, you notice it has something to do with somebody else who was coming on there that wasn't one of them. And now they're coming out with new technology. And it continues to happen again and again and again. I mean, it gets to the point where it's just ridiculous. You know what they're doing. They're just taking ideas. And at this point, it's time to stop feeding the machine.
Exactly.
Because they're screwing up the whole test. Every single one of them that I see, it's like you have no idea which variables to look for, do you? You have no idea which direction to go to because you've never done the experiments. You have no clue. And you can see it as soon as they put it out. You can see it as soon as they put their circuit out. You can see it as soon as they try to tell you they have something more than they do because I've already done the experiment. I already know what you have. As soon as you opened your mouth, I knew what you had. So it's just kind of, it gets ridiculous to a point. And it's like, dude, go freaking build your own stuff and figure it out because I'm getting tired of you stealing everybody's stuff.
Yeah. They're scabbing.
So yeah, that's why I stopped disclosing everything. I'm just gonna sell my knowledge to the U.S. Navy directly.
I just put it out there, man. I just don't care. I don't need any money for my life. The rest of it, I'm good. I did well. I'll just put it out there for free.
Yeah.
You know, you stumped them when you built the Graviflyer. That's where the big shift happened. You know, like when you built that thing, it actually worked. Like it made everybody like, oh my gosh, you know, no one's presenting something, but somebody completely from outside of the box is you know, actually doing something and making it work. It's not testing after testing after no, it actually works. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. They they won't know for another month.
What do you mean?
I got 30 days left of YouTube screwing me over before I can start collecting money for what I do, and that's when I'm gonna start letting everything out.
Oh, yeah, they demonetized me yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Good question.
They didn't say why?
Not specifically, no. Just because of the strike and the warning, and they're saying my numbers are dwindling. I think I've been blackballed again. I think they blackballed me, and now they've demonetized me. I think this was all planned. Because, yeah.
I don't know.
I honestly, I've lost a lot of faith as far as YouTube's concerned. I use Patreon, and Patreon seems to be doing a lot better for me. So I'm sticking with Patreon. So, like honestly, the way I feel right now, it's like if I were to have to move over to Rumble, I'll do it because I'm just like almost had enough of it. Oh, and know what also YouTube did? I also have my YouTube or my channel on Odyssey. And what would happen if I uploaded a video to my YouTube channel, it automatically updates on my Odyssey. Well, guess what YouTube did? They put an encryption on it now. So when I post a video on YouTube, it doesn't get synchronized to Odyssey. They block Odyssey.
Probably why they demonetized you right there is the link between the two systems.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, it is. They don't like you going on other platforms.
Oh yeah. So you can stream on. So yeah, you can stream on YouTube and anywhere else at the same time.
Oh, you can. You shouldn't link them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So now, if you have your YouTube channel and you're synchronized through Odyssey, so every video you post on YouTube gets updated on Odyssey, that won't happen anymore. YouTube stopped that.
Do they give you the lists of your people that watch you, like their names, or no? You don't have that.
No, I think it's part of privacy. They won't.
Hmm.
No, I got like they show you the last 3 people who subscribed to your channel. That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because
which I think is
you
crock.
always start up a new channel and invite the people that were uh watching, and then you just, I don't know.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, it's getting to the point now, from what I've heard, YouTube's on a big downswing as far as, uh, popularity with streamers, and especially, people that are doing more edgy content. They're starting to avoid YouTube. They're said, screw YouTube. We're going to, say, like Odyssey or Rumble or some other platform. So who knows what's going to happen with me and my channel if I'm just going to migrate over to another, like Rumble, and I think I'll have less problems, a lot less problems. I'll have to establish myself there. I've got quite a few videos posted on Rumble, so I think it's I better start beefing it up a little bit
I don't
because
know. I'd research why they demonetize you and try to fix it.
yeah, I think it's just the numbers. But if they put the algorithm in and blacklist you, I noticed too my subscriptions, if they basically flatlined. It's like, no, how is this possible? I'm still getting numbers. I should still be getting, say, 10, 20 new subscribers a month. I'm like flatlined. I'm like, no, that's impossible. There's no way, with the amount of views I was getting, that my subscriptions is flatlined. Like, give me a break. That's no, something's wrong. Either I've been blacklisted, blackballed, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's
Do they,
weird.
like somebody can call? I don't know. Like,
No,
I just have a YouTube. I don't have my own channel. Like, I don't post on it, but I have YouTube, so I don't know what you could possibly do with them.
Can you
yeah.
post like a big YouTube? You can post like whenever you have a show with the big flashing, blinking red light in live, but you when people go on the YouTube channel, you redirect them on the Rumble channel and in the comments or something like that.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come up with a free energy device that you can make with a mouse, and then see my numbers go through the roof.
Now,
Like,
if you want your numbers to grow, very honestly, put out 5 shorts a day. Okay, drop a
mhm.
long form video that's at least more than 5 minutes, at least once a day, and then drop a 40-minute video at least once a week, and your numbers will start skyrocketing. That's how you do it. And
Mm,
if you put in the time, it'll go up. If you don't put in the time, it won't go anywhere.
Hmm.
yeah. See, the thing is, it's not like my channel doesn't have content. If you go through my channel, I got over 460 videos.
No, I
I
understand
got
that, but it's not about
right,
how many you have.
right,
It's how much new content are you putting into the system,
right.
because they don't care how much you have.
Yeah,
That's the point. They want you to keep putting in new content.
right.
They want like current revolving content.
It's
Well,
like
yeah, because
one
everybody's seen your stuff and then they stop promoting it already. So who's getting it? So
like
by putting in the fresh content, going back and rehashing some of your stuff, make quick videos out of it. Drop, 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 drop. Boom, your number
no,
starts to explode.
no, know where I was getting 60% of my views. Take a wild guess. All by searches through Facebook
Hmm.
and the news groups. That's where most of my traffic was coming from.
From
Like,
Facebook.
yeah, Facebook news groups. Yep,
And
that's
I
been a huge amount.
or
They got news groups on
I get a
Facebook.
lot of traffic from
Oh
Facebook
yeah,
as well.
tons. Yeah, I was getting 60% of my views coming from Facebook news groups.
Oh,
I
that's
got a
cool.
whole list of them. So whenever I do a live show like this at the end of the night, I'll go and post this video on all my news groups that I'm joined. and that's where my traffic comes in, and it worked well for a very long time.
Okay.
What about LinkedIn?
So
Use LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, I kind of stayed away from LinkedIn. From what I've been told right now, the best places to post, believe it, is Facebook and X. So apparently, a lot of people do really well posting on X.
Yeah, X is pretty. It's more open-minded than now with Elon Musk. So they're not gonna. They're not gonna. You know. And watch what I say, but they're not gonna be bitching you like. You know.
Yeah, it's just it seems like they're like you're in a box, and they're the walls are closing in slower and slower.
Yeah.
You're coming in, what they feel like you're getting squished to the point
Yeah.
where it's like you don't even want to be part of that platform anymore. So I'm gonna start posting on X. I'm gonna start posting on Rumble more. I've started to download a lot of my videos that I'm trying to get all the content that I had on YouTube, trying to download it so I have a hard copy of it. If
Yeah.
at some point YouTube decides to pull the noose on me.
Can you get monetized on Rumble?
Yeah, they have. You can do that too. You can make money off of Rumble as well.
So just
But
when you're about
I
to when you're about to have a show, just post it in all these news group on X and or
I have
TikTok or
found
whatever.
I I have found I've made more money uh, using the platform of Patreon. You link your YouTube channel to a Patreon site. You can link all your videos, pictures, any kind of media on it. You set up your subscriptions free, $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever, and it gives you more benefits if you pay more. And I found consistently made more money with Patreon. So yeah, that's why I've stay with it, right? And
Okay.
that money from Patreon pays for the parts I need to make my projects.
Okay.
Like it paid for my 3D printer I needed. So, and every now and then I also have my link there for a PayPal donation. Every once in a while, I'll get that one person who'll donate $1,000 or more. And it's like, whoa. It's like,
Oh yeah, that's
thank you.
cool.
Yeah, like
My
the most I ever got, like the biggest donation I ever got on PayPal was $4,000.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
like,
wow.
whoa, yeah, 4 grand.
Mike, I think
Um,
you do like t-shirts, like a merch store. I mean, it's pretty like
I was,
you know,
yeah,
bumper stickers, t-shirts, like
bumper stickers.
I mean,
Yeah, I should get a bumper sticker. Here's a good one.
yeah.
A bumper sticker have Faraday research, and they'll um, uh, underneath Faraday research, you'll go, were you this close to Faraday? If you could read, if you're too close to the bumper, are you this close to Faraday?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just like these things, the digital part helps bring in more subscribers. And at the same time, it generates money. Not a lot, but just something, you know?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, you know what?
this is until
Yeah,
you're ready.
like you'd be surprised. Like I never expected this money to come in. It's just somebody just I I hit them in the right spot, and they wanted to help.
That's cool.
So it's just a PayPal donate button. Just set up your PayPal account. That's connected to either a credit card or your bank account. And then if they make a donation, they click on the link, they send you the money, goes right to your PayPal. So there's no physical connection between them and your account. And then you just do a bank transfer.
They don't want anything in return.
Who?
That,
No, no,
no,
no.
that's cool.
I had one girl out in Australia, I think well over a year ago, sent me $900 Canadian
Nice.
just out of the blue. right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you never know.
I have a Patreon channel, but I didn't really
Yeah, I would
see it
really
that
push
much.
your Patreon. Yeah, push your Patreon. It works well. Add the
Yeah.
link to your YouTube channel. You can add the link in there,
Mm.
and you used to be surprised.
Oh yeah.
Just say all your proceeds go towards funding of me getting components I need to make the projects, and
Cool.
people understand that. Or even the PayPal. If you don't want to be a Patreon, through PayPal, just say, hey, just donate me $2 a coffee.
Okay.
Donate a coffee to me. I'm not asking for your last month's rent. Just chip me a couple bucks. And people eventually start responding and help you out.
Wow.
Buy
If
me a coffee,
if
Yeah,
people
that's
right?
understood that when they do their taxes, they're out an amount where they can, if they use it for to donate towards research or scientific things, it becomes
Yeah, but yeah, that's different. And then you're getting into a whole different ball of wax with that. You have to do all your tax receipts and charitable donations. And I don't know how it works in the US, but here it's like it's too much red tape involved. It's just an anonymous donation through PayPal. It's called PayPal Donate.
Hmm.
And they get to choose how much they donate to you. $1, 50 cents, $20, $50, whatever. But if if I had 3,000 subscribers and I said, just donate $1 to me, well, there's over 3 grand, right? It's like buying me a coffee, right? So,
Yeah, I can't do that, Mike. That's not me.
but but yeah, like you're in a different place where the money is not an issue for you. But guys that are out there that want to do the stuff but are money stricken, they like to, you know, some of the guys have been following me since day one, and they want me to carry on doing what I'm doing, and that's why they don't mind every now and then chip me $5 or whatever. So I have money, a cash flow to buy components to make stuff and put it out there. It all
Yeah,
depends where you're at,
I,
right?
I, I completely understand. I just feel weird about stuff. Like, I didn't even ask for shipping when I send stuff out because, to be honest with you, I don't even know how to figure out to get the money back. So I don't even worry about it. I just send it
Like
out.
honestly, I like even just like stuff to do my work, right? My oscilloscope was sent to me from one of my followers, and he said, yeah, Mike, I just got a hold of a brand new Handtech uh, uh, 2-channel oscilloscope. I'll send it to you. Just don't worry, you don't have to pay me for it, nothing. I'll ship it to you. And he did. So when
That's
you get
cool.
an anonymous, yeah, that just shows people you know like to help out, right? And yeah,
Yeah.
so there are good people and generous people out there, and sometimes they'll stick their neck out for you.
No, I understand. I get it.
But yeah, so it's not for everybody, but it does come in handy, especially if you're tight on the cash flow to get components and stuff to build your experiments, and that it comes in handy, right? It's a
Yeah, no, I
tool.
get you.
And you'd be surprised how many people are adamant followers of your channel. They'll follow you right from day one and just keep watching it. Your show actually becomes part of their life, which is kind of cool in that way, right?
yeah, yeah. After you gain their trust, they
Yeah,
start
it's.
trusting you.
I had one guy just he goes, my day's not complete without seeing one of your videos. You know,
That's cool.
that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a nice comment. That's a really appreciative comment.
it is.
So that resonates, right? So you're building confidence, and
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I wish you well with it. I hope everybody takes care of it and you give them some cool results from it, and it turns out well for everybody.
Well, yeah. Like as far as like the pulse motor, and I'll do my disclosure with you on Sunday. about the motor and how it works. And I just hope people embrace a different idea because so many people are hung up on transistors and MOSFETs to run their pulse motors, where I really think they're losing something there.
I'm
And
interested to find that out. That's going to be really cool.
yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a good thing. It's gonna drum up a lot of questions. I'm sure of it.
I was taking apart some stuff today of circuits and just running back through them to get the flow patterns and everything else down and find out the anomalies in the circuit based on what the circuit is. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
what are they actually trying to produce out of it? And it's like a whole mess that goes on until it finally makes sense, and then boom, you hit it all at once.
Yeah,
So
totally. Like kind of like what I'm doing with my motor. That's why I call it the Renegade because it goes against everything that everybody is doing. Everybody's doing, you know, uh, MOSFETs, SSRs, all this kind of stuff. My Renegade, I'm using literally an on-off switch.
yeah,
So it goes against everything that Bendini, it goes against all those guys. Only one guy that I know of that used like somewhat of a disruptive discharge is Robert Adams. And that's where I got inspired on his design. And he was claiming 800% efficiency.
yeah. What you got to do is look and see how fast you need to switch, and then you can determine your parts from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot easier way to go than trying to cram in a whole like years worth of study on MOSFETs and transistors and resistors and figure out how it all works. So it took me quite a while to get all that down.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Anyways,
Gonna go like
you guys just carry on. I'm going to go for a quick smoke and I'll be right back. So just kind of.
I'm saying I'm excited when Mike's thing goes, commercial, because there's so many things you could apply it to, so many things, and not even just in the United States or Canada. Like on the other side of the world, there are so many regions that don't have electricity and don't have the capability of building that infrastructure. And this is a perfect device to bring light to people, honestly, and small words bring light to people that don't have that, especially like areas of war, where all their infrastructure got blasted away or ruined or this. Electricity is one of the most important things for our modern day. And yeah, there's such big potential for his thing. I'm for sure I could get his thing, in at least like 3 countries, at least 3 countries. Uh, I've got family members all over, the world. And I have an uncle that once told me, he's like, if you can find something that could, generate electricity or hold energy for a long time. And back then, I didn't know any of these ideas. My mind was going towards a Tesla battery that, it could, last for 2 weeks. Well, then you needed a place to recharge these things and a delivery system to people. But this is you don't need that. It's on its own. There's
Yeah, it's all if you combine this form of energy with high temperature electrolysis and energy teleportation, we have plenty of solutions available. We can't whine anymore that you're with the green deal and all that bullshit. So we
Yeah.
we have plenty of solutions available. So the society cannot complain anymore.
As soon as they stop putting fans in the ocean, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Even the waves of the ocean can create a form of energy.
Yeah.
In San Diego, there's a company that does that. They're harnessing the waves to create energy. So, people need to stop bitching.
They're good at that. They like that. They get on whatever high fluting pan their politics gives them, and they're like, "Woohoo, let's go!" You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Oh, yeah, I find that hilarious because you look at some of their plans, and it's like, why'd you even bother? Like, who gave you the money to do this? Who was smoking it that day? Like, I mean, I understand if you got a valley that's full of wind and you want to put up some fans. I get it. I mean, I totally get it. But you're out, dude. It's in the ocean. Like, why? You're just screwing up the animals in the ocean and it's killing them.
Yeah,
You're killing a lot of birds. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah,
Oh yeah.
dude, I need to drink.
See, I don't think their intention was to destabilize the ecosystem. I think any idea starts off with the very good intent, but we just don't know how it ripple effects, later on.
Well, what you can't have is somebody that's disassociated with the mechanics of something approving plans, because that's when you get in trouble. That's when you get a bunch of these fans. Okay, that's what happened. Is they don't know anything about it. They have no idea what the mechanics are about it, and they're looking at straight numbers. And then every time they give you the number, it's probably 30% less than that is what they actually get out of the system, because they always give you the number at its best. They never give you any breakdown. They don't give any time for breakdowns. They don't give you time for repairs that constantly happen. And then to buy a whole new part for that thing is an enormous amount of money. So by the time they're done, they might break even. I just don't like the technology at all. I mean, we got better ones that can do that. They constantly complain, oh, China's building coal plants. Well, find them an easy plant that they can build that's cheap, and they'll build those. Why? Because they only care about the cost efficiency. They could care less what kind of technology it is. All they want is something cheap that runs cheap that can be continuously run.
True.
That's it. You come up with something better, and they'll steal it from you, take the patent, and use it. That's the way they work. So, yeah, I'd rather see them, put their head on their shoulder when they start building this stuff.
I just want to reach to a point where we have levitating cars.
Before I die, we're getting that levitating car.
Like I've seen this. It's available, but like a levitating car that runs on, endless energy where I don't have to keep on constantly feeding it something for it to.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Hot rod, one of those that's a levitating car.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
I just want to, live my life hoping that I will see this in my lifetime.
I want a little thing in the Back to the Future thing where you put the banana peels in there and the leftover beer, and then it goes. I want one of those.
Yeah, or like, actually like the space elevator, like doing something really different, not something that we've been, for the past 100.
But that's what Jeff Bezos want to do. You want to create some sort of ring in space, in orbit, that has artificial gravity because it spins.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to create some sort of city in orbit, something like a hotel, some sort of hotel in orbit. I mean, I like his ambition, but let's see if he can make that happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
affordable, not like $500,000 just to go for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
wow. It's like a spaceship, but just to sit there for a hotel.
Yeah, but it spins at the same time to get artificial gravity, something like that. So now Musk is into that stuff also. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
man, Musk is like this guy. I mean, okay, he's intelligent, but his ideas are scary. Yeah, I saw one video of his like trying to create kids, babies, artificial wombs. Like, man, that's just okay, the concept is cool, but do we really even want that? You know,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's just
they,
weird.
they, they create robots to change. They right now they're creating robots to change your partner. You know, so girls are going to be with robots and guys with robots. So that's the way it goes right now. So
Nasty.
it is sick, but
Yeah.
that's the way it is. There's nothing we can do about it.
Hey, like what, we ran out of people on this world to create robots. It's just nasty. It's not, not okay. I,
It's their population control.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just I think we will turn. We won't, like, it will change the whole human like emotion system. You lose that whole empathy, the thing that's called love. We lose that if we
But
start.
it's already like that. You look at the younger generations; they all play games all the time. It's like you just say hi, and they already try to play games with you. So it's freaking messed up. So I can't even say to have a sentence with the younger generations without wondering what they, to have a consistent conversation. It's already they're completely different. They're not patriotic. They don't want to go to wars. I mean, they don't want to protect our country if we go to war. So their values are very upside down.
But I think they're relying on the other side is exactly like them, and they don't want to go to war. So like
Oh,
the whole, like, everywhere. If you look at,
man, are they mistaken?
they
Yeah,
don't care
I,
of
I
things.
don't want to go to war also, but if I have no choice, I will go. And I don't want to street fight anybody. But if somebody attacks my buddies or my girlfriend or my mom or something, then sorry, but it's over for that person.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
I
think
understand that.
logically driven than physically driven. They would rather combat war through technology rather than face to face combat or any of that stuff. Like the
Well, I'm
new.
okay with that. They got a bunch of robots that can take care of it. That'd be cool, but they got to build one first. But
yeah.
what? That's not a sex bot, by the way. They have to avoid that feature in order to get the job done.
Isn't, like, Boston Dynamics building a robot army of some sort, something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, this, like, robot, uh, soldier robot.
Your sound is lagging, is cutting off.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're breaking up.
Hold on.
Oh man.
Better?
Try again to
Is
speak.
this better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying they're already building a robot army. So
Yeah, that's been in the works for a long time. Look at the drones.
yeah.
Drone technology. I know a guy right now. He, I believe, is in Germany, and he has a drone that can circumnavigate the entire planet without losing power.
That's cool.
Wow. Like, really, wow.
Yeah,
And they got autonomous weaponry too. So not only drones, but it's they got. I can't. I'm working on something myself. I cannot talk about, but it's autonomous stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be good if they could pull it off. I mean, it would probably take the sting out of war, so they wouldn't realize that they shouldn't do it. So, but yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
It'd also be very bad for everybody because then police units would start taking it over and they'd start using it. And then instead of talking to an officer where he has good common sense, you're talking to a robot who doesn't care. So
Yeah.
you might as well not even ask.
yeah. It's like that old movie RoboCop.
Yeah. But even worse, you got a robot looking at you like dense as can be, like does not compute, buddy, no matter what you say.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think the robots are more to read like your telemetry things, like your pulse, your heart rate, the vibration of your voice, where your eyes looking, it's reading.
Yeah, and they can integrate a lie detector test easily, so they can tell if you're lying or not.
Oh, I swear to God, I think the police already have those. I They have this little machine. The other day, I had to call them because this fiber optic company put a box. Anyway, so they came, and I was talking to the police officer, and he had this thing, and it kept on like beeping, like it felt like a Geiger counter kind of thing, like it beeped every so often. So when I watched him talk to the other guy, the thing was beeping like so much. So I was like, what is this little thing? So I'm really interested in doing some research on this. They wear it like right there, like, and it looks like a camera, but it's not a camera because it's emitting something. So I'm pretty sure it's reading something, and it's an indicator for them of some sort.
Yeah,
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 but
they can tell with the tone of your the tone of your voice and where you look, and if you look to the right, it means you're lying while you speak, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, they have a whole bunch of tricks to. So they know that for a long time. So I'm not trying to lie to the cops or the customs or anything like that.
yeah, and then maybe they have those like the retina reader, like wherever you look, it locates it.
Hmm.
Like I know they had this in my old school. Like if you would be looking at the board, they've got like retina readers, so the teacher would know exactly to what part of the lecture you're looking at. So
Seriously?
yeah,
What's this world coming to?
yeah. But I was going to a technology school, science information technology, so they were implementing all sorts of new tech. Part of the atmosphere, the teaching, things. But yeah, they had that. So yeah,
Yeah, they have to hack it. It'd be something else to mess with in the classroom.
I didn't realize because it was kind of funny because I would be like looking at something, and then all of a sudden the teacher would be, the professor would start talking about it. And I'm like, what is this dude reading my mind? Like, like, you know, like maybe almost like 6 months into the, like, into my class, I realized that they have retina readers. Like they could actually read where, they could locate where your eye is looking at. But it took me like 6 months to figure it out. But yeah, they
Yeah,
meant it. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got things for everything, like your telephone and your computer, and they always want to know where you are.
It feels
And
good. It feels good when you don't have your phone on
oh
yourself.
yeah,
Because even if you even I was at my mom's place this week, and sometimes I was talking to her. I didn't have my phone on me, and I could just say everything I wanted to say. I know it's not the phone is not going to record me because my phone was in a
Yeah.
different room.
You know what movie I
yeah.
want to find? I want to find that movie, 1984. It all talks about Big Brother watching your
Yeah, yeah,
cameras and all
they
this
they
stuff.
are because at one point I was driving, and I was saying out loud with somebody in my car, look at that bar, how boring it looks. And then I started having ads on my Facebook feed about that bar specifically.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
know they listen.
they do. And try putting your cell phone away from you. Like, let's say, put it in the living room and go into your front yard or backyard. Come back,
Yeah,
you'll have a missed call, like one of those like robocalls. It's a form of that for you to get back to your phone.
exactly.
Always want to have like you in that range where they can record you or
Yeah, that's what I hated initially about having a cell phone and Facebook and MySpace back then. It's back in the 90s, you were doing something with a bunch of friends, and then you were going training in martial arts with different friends, and then you were going to school to work with different people, and nobody knew each other. Now it's like it's all mixed up. Everybody knows what you're doing, and because of Facebook, when you post something, everybody knows. So it's kind of you have to be careful what you say about. It's kind of boring a little bit. If you say something, if you're politically right on the right a little bit, and you say something against the left, and on Facebook, then you're gonna lose half of your friend. So it's kind of stupid. It's back in the 90s, we didn't have these problems. You could just clear your mind with different people at any time, and that was a cool thing. So
Maybe I should say more stuff on Facebook. People would leave me alone. That might work out. God, they just shut up.
I
You know what I mean?
know. I have
Just
to limit my
stop talking
Facebook
to me.
exposure. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't like using
same thing with the
Facebook.
cell phone. I leave it wherever. I don't care. You know what I mean? As long as the wife can find it, that's her leash for me. So when it beeps, well, it's tough luck if I'm not in the room. I don't really care.
yeah,
Dude, that thing is the worst. I used to have to work and have one of those all day, and I think I broke about 20 of them. And I just said, when I retire, no more. Just sit over there, and I turn off all the beepers on them.
yeah.
And if I want to talk to you, I will. And that's it.
Because you're trying to work in the middle of your focus on when you're concentrated.
Yeah.
The goddamn phone rings that can ring at any time, and you lose your concentration. You get to restart over again, and
That's the disruptive technology.
exactly.
Yeah.
This what disruptive technology is. Has it happened to you that you're focused doing something, and then like you're like so immersed in it, and you get like some bullshit call, and
Exactly.
did they read like you're in the like the what do they call it, that brainwave when you're at most creative state?
Yeah.
They don't like that for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
you know what? I get it when I voice over a video. You know what I mean? And in the middle of my voiceover, it goes off. And all of a sudden, you hear on my microphone every cuss word in the world before I shut it off and turn off the whole thing. You know what I mean? Because then I have to get back to being nice again and say it again. I hate that.
I don't think it was capable of that, but yeah, probably.
Or your phone starts vibrating when you're over there and you got a high voltage line in your hand and you're trying to mess with your testicle, and it's like, buddy, stop trying to call me right now. I'm trying to do high voltage on camera.
Yeah. And then their excuses, they always say, well, what if it's an emergency? There's no emergency. That never happens,
Yeah.
The other day, did you know if you put two cell phones together, you put them head to head, you can transfer information from one to the other without anything else.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That was the coolest thing. The other day, like with one of my kids' friends was trying to give me their address, and she's like, do you have Mrs. Sajar, do you have your phone? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, just put it up. And I did. All of a sudden, like, it just popped up. I'm like, this is the coolest thing. But if you think about it, what if you're out in public and you get close to somebody's cell phone? They could take the information, the same way. Like, I don't know. Just it's cool, but at the same time, not every cool thing should be that easy. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
They got hackers that sit there in the middle of areas that are completely full of people and just steal their credit card information. So
I got there was a skimmer on a gas pump in Florida when I was using one, and they got my credit card information that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they call it skimming. Yeah, they call it skimming.
Did you see the new device called Flipper? It's like a little white.
Yeah. That's been out for a while.
Okay, that's one that like they could steal stuff and decode.
Yeah.
So you just have to walk nearby and It's gonna read your credit card or something.
Yep. Credit card, your keyless entry on your car. Yeah, everything.
Anything that has a code,
Yep.
encrypted.
Yep. It's
Well,
pretty
my
scary
credit
stuff.
card is always tapped, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Way to solve that problem.
Good luck.
Problem solved.
Good luck with that one.
Hey, you leave the empty credit cards at home. It's got $10 on it for your meal, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So sounds like my wife gives me a card. Here you go, there's $10 on it. You can get a hamburger. Oh yeah. What if I wanted two? No, can't have it.
Declined.
Yeah. I stopped using certain cards, man. It's like I don't even want to ask the question if there's anything on it. Like you give me one that's good and that's it. Don't hand me 50 of them. So
King. Put cash and like I've been living in a cash world for the past 4 or 5 years.
that'd be nice.
Here, it's less risky. Yeah, I was like literally they bankrupt me with credit card fraud. It got too much to the point where I couldn't keep up with it, especially when Amazon came out. Man, Amazon is the biggest thief in this world. If you buy something, let's say on Amazon using a certain credit card, right? Next time, if you use another credit card, they might charge both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they know let's say your credit card statement one comes on the 1st and one comes on, let's say, the 20th, right? Most people don't sit and analyze. They just assume they see it the first time and they're like, oh, okay, it was on this credit card. But then when they charge the other one, like they make you lose of where it was. So I've like shut down pretty much anything that has to do with online shopping, with credit cards. Literally, I've been living on a cash world for almost 4 years. So recently I started this thing called Cash App. This one is like you could see it right then and there on your phone. You don't have to wait for a statement, or you don't have to log into an account to verify it. Right there, you make the payment and you see it.
I hate that thing.
Really?
It's because I go to sell something on OfferUp, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden I don't have the cash, but I have Cash App.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you know where the bank is? Like, because you could go there. I hear they give you money if you have it. So I just don't understand. It's like, dude, quit being lazy. Like, if you're going to pick something up and you want it, have the cash. It just drives me insane. It's like, I'd rather take $10 less and not deal with all your BS and have the government track me on what money I make on my little sales than, you know what I mean, ever have it going through all that.
Well, yeah, I guess in that situation makes sense. Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's like I don't live in a world with people like me anymore. They're and it drives me insane. Yeah. I don't think I ever lived in a place where there's a lot of people like me.
Hey, Nathan, we need more
okay.
people like you. You're a good soul, is what you are. Everybody here, we feel blessed to be among such amazing people.
I agree with that.
You too.
Same here.
Oh yeah.
No, I look forward to Friday. Whatever I have, I cancel because
You're breaking up again.
Oh yeah, we have fun on this show.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben, did you have anything you wanted to share with us tonight?
Yeah, so I can show you a little something.
Yeah.
I was.
It just sounds wrong. I don't know if I want to see it or not.
Yeah, the way you said that. Yeah.
I can give you a little peek.
How about the spherical coil? Do you have a chance to replicate that?
No, see, I don't have any wire. I have a bunch of rodent coil frames and no wire.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to wait till I get some more wire. But I am planning on making some more coils. Well, we have
Yep.
the Fireball coil hooked up right now, and sitting on top of it is the Mark 1 coil, the smaller one that's roughly the size of the PoE Mini from First Stop Energies. So we have two of those. And earlier I was trying to mess with the Jewel Thief circuit because in the Practical Guide to Free Energies Devices chapter on the Jewel Thief, it specifically goes into advanced Jewel Thief circuits. And there's a way to hook up two of them with two coils. And since we have two coils right there, I decided, let's build another Jewel Thief circuit and see if we can try to get it running. Well, lo and behold, it runs, but I don't have another neon to protect the transistor on the second circuit. So until Monday, when we get our new neons, we're going to be burning through transistors. So, but I can still show you the switchboard. So I want to show you the switchboard, which is really cool. So I built this makeshift switchboard, which has interchangeable boards for different modules. So I can right now I have the Jewel Thief module on there, but I can also put like a PWM module, on a board and swap it out easily. It's pretty cool. I fashioned it out of an old Steam Deck case, so it has two grips on the handle, so I can hold it, and it's just easy, so I can present it easier. It's pretty cool. So I can hook up the camera real quick and show you that.
Sure.
Yep, sounds good.
Well, it's going to be interesting because they're two different coils. So even if they're pulsed at the same time, they may have different times that they go through the entire coil. So there may be a trade-off in there, whether he does it that way or not.
Yeah, so I mean, I got each of the circuits to work independently before the transistor fry, but as soon as I switched to the load on the other, the primary coil, it must have fried the transistor then, and because I didn't have a neon protecting it or something. Because when you disconnect the load from the coil, the neon lights up.
Oh God,
right?
yeah. Oh yeah, that's your ballast. You got to have a ballast.
Yeah, so that's what I think is happening. I don't want to burn through too many transistors, but I can show you the primary circuit in Jewel Thief hooked up to the switchboard, which is what I'm going to do right now real quick.
Yeah, you got to have a big load on those things, don't you, to pull that negative? Probably like a bank.
That's what we're thinking. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. We need a bigger load, but I don't have too big of a load, and I still get pink in certain ranges. So
yeah, but if you took a capacitor bank to that, like Gerald does, you'd probably have a lot better.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's something I discussed with Michael. Is the capacitance is key here. And we're gonna have to work and try to, do some more testing with that. But I think you're right, Nathan. You're right on the board with that. Because what we see is when we increase the power level, the threshold at that finely tuned range, it turns pink, and then all of a sudden it'll flash white at certain, frequency range. So I think that indicates it might be finely tuned.
Well, you got to think of your load as your negative, and your negative in a DC circuit sucks the power back through. You got to start thinking of it as a vacuum. So if you have a lot of capacitors on that vacuum, they get filled up extremely fast. So it's an easier way to think about it.
Loading XSplit, which is my camera utility.
I'm just gonna go grab some alcohol. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's good.
Enjoy.
What are you gonna drink?
They're probably getting some wine.
Yeah, I think I got some booze too. let's all get loaded. No.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
It's gotta be whiskey.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I got a few things.
If I'm gonna gotta be the whiskey all the way. I'm not messing with wine or like beer or that's just I feel
like my cider beer
for kids.
I like cider beer.
I see in the chat, His Highness, I feel Star Trek video in the Force. I got a couple of them working on it. It's just kind of hard to find all the little bits and pieces you need.
Yeah, I like that little clip of Ben. Do you have something to share? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have little clips on my front of my computer that just have like good parts, like when Gerald said "circle jerkle" or something like that. You know what I mean? You know, I have to put that aside and wait. He just come out and said, he goes, "We're all over here playing a circle jerk," and I'm going, "All right, dude, I got you."
Yeah.
Put that one aside.
Oops. Hold on. Oh no.
Oh, Ben, you died. What happened? There you are.
No, that
Oh,
was
you
my
switched, probably
mistake.
switching the camera.
That was my mistake.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So what you see in front of you is my new interchangeable switchboard, and I'll show you that in a second. Right now, it has the module with the Jewel Thief and 2 toggle switches connected to it. Right now, we're going to turn on the power supply in the back, and we're going to put in approximately 9 volts, and we're going to light the neon lamp on the Jewel Thief, and I'll show you the toggle circuit or the toggle board here and how it can be interchanged.
All right. Well, we see the camera moving. Come on, Ben. Now it's wiggling more. Maybe he's dancing over there.
Then you need more lighting in that area.
Give him some spotlights.
Yeah. Or like an overhead light or something.
Man, those coil sizes, you see them over there, they're massively different.
Yeah. I'm seeing it through a cell phone, so it's kind of
okay.
that big. I can't see that well through a cell phone. But I got a nice computer, and I gotta set it up. Maybe next time we do this, I'll have my computer running up.
Right on.
I got a Dell, a 2 terabyte Dell.
Nice.
So, pretty excited.
All right, if you bear with me for a moment, I'll show you real quick how we can swap out these boards.
Nice. Okay. I like it's brighter. Look at that. Oh, it's got an arm now.
Oh, it looks like there's a little bit of a delay.
Oh,
I'll just let it play.
that looks really cool. You got 2 coils on top of each other.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's got
there's
2 different.
I don't have I don't have the fireball coil hooked up. There's a delay in the video. I'm all done filming. This is weird. This is like filmed like literally 3 minutes ago. I got done.
Oh wow.
Just gonna let it play for you guys. Basically, I can narrate now. Cool. Okay, so I'll narrate.
There you go.
Basically, we just have the coil on top, the Mark I hooked up, because the other one doesn't have a neon bulb to protect the transistor. You see the LED panel that I whipped together there lights up pretty bright under 8.9 volts, 0.84 amps, which is pretty good efficiency. It's not the best, honestly. There's a lot of room for improvement. I did hook it up to the second circuit to try to do the twin Jewel Thief, but as I noted earlier, I didn't have a neon to protect the transistor, but it did light the load. So we couldn't actually test the efficiency of that because it burnt out the transistor as soon as I flipped up the other switch. But as you'll see in a second, I'm going to show you how I can easily swap out boards. That comes apart, and I could just put another module on there, like a PWM or something, with another toggle switch, is what I'm planning on doing. And it just comes apart from the Steam Deck grip case, and it's all insulated at the top, so I could just easily swap out one board for the other. Pretty nifty, seeming as I didn't really have any other tools lying around to build one of these things.
Nice.
But that's all I got.
That's cool, Ben. I like it.
I appreciate that, Nathan. That means a lot. I was trying real hard to make it like nice and presentable. So it's a little long lopsided right there, but it actually works pretty well. You know, it keeps everything safe so you don't accidentally get shocked, and I'm not reaching over, accidentally exposing myself to wires and, So I don't know. It works pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. I like the fact that you can get like spooky with it with that trigger too. It's like
like a countdown timer.
yeah, you're doing a countdown till your sugar turns on. Oh, that's so awesome! And then the rodent coil size is like so different. I was telling Lulu about it.
So the size of the Mark I is closer to the Mini, the PoE Mini, and we do have dimensions for that. If you feel the need to print one out that size, and I recommend it because that size is producing some pretty interesting effects with the stereo amp receiver. The other ones weren't. If you want to, I'll eventually have that on my Patreon or on YouTube or whatever. I'll put out a guide or something on YouTube, I'm sure.
Yeah, guys, please post in the live chat your YouTube channel addresses so anybody who's new in the chat there can access your sites, please. So just a program note, I'm going on afternoon shift for the next 2 weeks, so I won't be doing any live shows for the next 2 weeks. But hopefully after I get put back on day shift, then I should be starting up the Friday night shows again. So yeah, hopefully we won't have to do this afternoon shift for long. We're just a little bit busy right now. So
yeah, we might have to
updates?
Get everybody together and host it for the next 2 weeks for you until you get back.
Yeah, I was going to actually suggest that. We can fill in for you if you need to.
Yeah, please. Yeah, you can do it. Try to keep it at the same times.
Yeah, that works.
Salute.
You got the wine, huh? Nice.
Some cheap wine, but it doesn't matter.
Right on, man.
Careful with wine because there's something that they put something in the wine because I have a head injury and I'm very, very sensible to the crop I consume, and they put some in commercial wines. They put some conservative agent in it, and it gives me a real headache when I take that. So I gotta be careful with that. But I forgot the name. It's
Wormwood.
No.
No, they put that in absinthe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried absinthe? I have.
I have, but the American version. I haven't tried the actual because the American one doesn't allow wormwood because it's
is that the green one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Top of it. Like,
oh.
Yeah.
I remember that Euro movie. What was it? Road Trip? Euro Road Trip?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my audio there for a second. Did you guys hear what I said before it got cut off?
No.
Yeah. So yeah. Please take over the show if you guys want. Try to keep the same time slot and use whatever title or whatever um, extraordinary inventors or whatever you want to use. That's cool. No problems.
Nathan will make a good fill-in host.
Yeah. I'll take over for a couple weeks. Oh man.
Yeah.
Just have to watch the content. I can't
Yeah.
make as many jokes.
Uh, nothing about holes anymore, please.
It's like the best time. I've tried to keep that towards the end, man. Oh,
That's the best for last.
Yeah, it's a good way to wind down. That's a really good idea.
Oh, we had Ben on the other week dancing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I seen that. That was
Best
fantastic.
dance moves.
That was really good. We all started dancing in the background, but I think Ben had his feet hands down.
I don't know. Gerald
Ben-
came up pretty
Ben-
close.
Ben Travolta.
Oh, got some moves, I'll tell you that.
yeah. Well,
No, because he just
genius.
turns his head to the side like this and stops, and it was like the best one ever.
Hey Ben, maybe do one like up the moonwalk, like Michael Jackson did.
Yeah.
I'll do my best, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know. That
Awesome.
might be a little beyond me.
Yeah.
Might actually have to be up there on the moon to do the moonwalk.
Oh,
Nathan, we need your help for that one.
That's easy, man. Just get the AI to put the moon background, and you can like do the moonwalk and like bump into a rover or kick it afterwards. Or something.
Just take Adobe Editor and then just drag a slide of myself like backwards.
Or swimming, doing this breaststroke.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
put like a blue screen over it.
oh man.
Anyways, yeah, we've come to the end of the show tonight. I'd like to thank our panel again for always supporting the show and coming on every Friday night. Join us for 2 hours of fun. So, everybody, thanks a lot. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks when I get back, and have a great weekend and great. I guess your Thanksgiving's what, at the end of November or
25th, I think. Yeah.
25th? And obviously next week, the big week, the U.S. Election. I hope everything goes good for you guys, and you guys vote somebody in that's gonna help your country and not. Put the
yeah, if
country
people
on the
don't
line.
vote, they can't bitch,
Yeah. So
All right, Mike, and we will see you on Sunday for your presentation.
maybe post it on your site or whatever, or in the chat too. I'll be doing my full disclosure on the Renegade device and the history of the pulse motor. And
nice.
So it should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Right on. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
All right, guys, have a great night. Thanks a lot. See you in 2 weeks. And
Thanks,
see
everybody.
you guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
take care.
thanks everybody. Thanks, Mike. Have a good time. I'll see you when you get back.
Enjoy, Phil.
Yeah.
Prosper.
Peace and prosper.
Oh, man, he's going to have a lot of peace, but not tomorrow morning.
Okay. Take care.
Right.
Later.